Float fishing cheating. For those of you who don't know, I was a big flosser for many, many years. And that's pretty much like catching the fish without the fish having to bite. Kind of lining the fish, like casting out, bring the line across the fish's mouth, and then bringing it back and hooking them in the corner of the mouth. When I was doing this, I was fishing Oswego Dam and Salmon River, places with a lot of current. So you don't really know that you're flossing fish, but you are, and that was the way that I was originally taught to do it. I started out float fishing, and I was like walking the wall a little bit at Oswego, and then we went to the dam, and I brought my floats up to the dam. I was float fishing skein at the dam, and guys were looking at us like we were crazy, like leave your floats on the wall and then just bottom bounce at the dam. And it's funny, it kind of came full circle because now I float fish at the dam again. But anyway, is float fishing cheating? I know a lot of the fly guys that when they see me walk up with a pin, I can tell they don't like it because I'm drifting beads down, and float fishing with a centerpin and just getting those real natural drifts is way more effective than fly fishing could ever be for ethically catching the fish and making the fish bite. Because if you're talking flossing with a fly rod and not giving the fish a choice to bite or not, of course the fly fishing is going to seem more effective because you're hooking more fish, but not the right way. So is float fishing cheating? I don't think so. All you're doing with float fishing is presenting the bait to the fish and delivering the bait to the fish in the most natural way. There's nothing wrong with that. Like some guys think if you don't catch them swinging a streamer, then it doesn't count. Because with the centerpin, you're literally delivering the bait right to the fish, right in front of its face. The fish doesn't have to expel a whole lot of energy to get the bait. Whereas if you're drifting a streamer, the fish kind of has to make a run up to it and grab it. So is float fishing cheating? No, float fishing is not cheating. Float fishing is on the market for a reason. It is the most effective way to catch salmon and steelhead ethically in the way that the fish are actually biting your bait. I especially don't care what the flossers and snaggers say, because oftentimes when you're float fishing and you're using the right baits at the right time and presenting them in the right way, you'll actually hook more fish that actually bit your lure than the snaggers will or the flossers will, not giving the fish a chance to actually make that intent to bite. I think if float fishing is the most effective way to do it, and anybody can learn how to float fish, everyone has equal opportunity to catch more fish. It's just float fishing is so valuable because there's that learning curve to learning how to cast the centerpin. That keeps a lot of people away from doing it. It could also be a money thing. It is pretty expensive. More money to get into a centerpin than it is getting into a spinning outfit or a low-end fly outfit, even though those can get pretty expensive too. Because a lot of guys say that float fishing is too effective. That's why it's cheating, because you're delivering the bait to the fish and it's almost too effective. It's almost too natural, where the fish has no clue that there's a person behind the bait being presented to them. So the reason people think it's cheating is because it's almost too effective. Additionally, fishing with a float, people think is cheating because they think the real way to do it is no float, bottom bouncing, or dead drifting, natural drifting. They think having the float gives you an unfair advantage at times, but also a true bite indicator. That's another reason why guys think that it's cheating. Because when the float goes down, you set the hook. Whereas when you're drifting or bottom bouncing or swinging streamers, there is no clear indicator when you have a bite. You just have to know, or you have to feel it, or the fish has to pull, and then you got a bite. So those are some reasons why guys think that float fishing is cheating, but I don't think it is. It's just naturally a salmon egg drifting down the current isn't going to be dragging on the bottom. It might be rolling along the bottom a little bit, but still going just about the same speed as the current. So I think float fishing is more ethical than any other form of delivering bait to fish in places with current, that is. Float fishing is not cheating.